You know, some stories sound like they're ripped straight from a Hollywood script. But this is a terrifyingly real case study of what happens when trust, technology, and betrayal all collide at the highest levels of national security. Just try to imagine that for a second. A single file, just a handful of pages long, but holding enough power to completely dismantle one of the world's most formidable intelligence agencies. Well, that file was real, and this is the story of how it came to be. So, that's the big question, right? How does this even happen? Well, the answer involves a brilliant young hacker, an FBI agent who got dangerously compromised, and a catastrophic failure of protocol that's, frankly, a chilling lesson in cybersecurity.
Okay, let's set the scene. The year is 2005. We're inside FBI headquarters in Washington, D.C. It's a pretty normal day, until a single inbound message turns everything completely upside down.
Look, from a security consultant's point of view, this is your absolute worst-case scenario. The call isn't coming from outside the house, it's coming from inside. The threat wasn't some external attack, but an email that came from their own trusted servers.
And attached to this email, a simple 11-page file. But inside those 11 pages was the digital equivalent of a nuclear bomb. It was a master key to decades of the FBI's most sensitive secrets.
To really understand how this all went down, we have to go back, way back to 2001, to a 20-year-old Ukrainian hacker named Maxim Popov, who thought he was about to start a brand new life.
Now, what's so wild about this timeline is just how fast the betrayal happens. After 4 months of talking, the FBI makes a huge miscalculation. They lure Maxim to American soil, promising he'll be an asset, an intelligence source, and then they arrest him. They just saw him as a target to be neutralized, not as a person whose skills and potential for revenge they had dangerously underestimated.
But here's the thing, they totally underestimated him. For 3 whole months, while working out of an FBI safe house, Maxim was talking to his old network. The agents thought they were gathering intel, but they had no clue. He was using a coded street slang to warn his friends right under their noses. It just shows you how brilliant he was at manipulating the very people holding him captive.
Just when it looked like Maxim was about to disappear into the federal prison system, one agent saw things differently. Agent Hilbert. He didn't see a criminal to lock away. He saw a weapon that, if you aimed it just right, could be devastatingly effective.
So Hilbert makes Maxim an offer he just can't refuse. Be a prisoner by day, but by night, hunt the world's most wanted cybercriminals. It was a crazy, high-risk strategy, basically fighting fire with fire. And the thing is, it paid off, big time. Together, Maxim and Hilbert took down massive fraud networks, and they stopped an estimated $70 million in theft. Maxim wasn't just good. The kid was a prodigy. He was their secret weapon.
And then, this one moment changes everything. Hilbert brings a Thanksgiving dinner to Maxim's cell. He doesn't talk business, he just shares a meal, they watch a movie. This simple act of humanity, it completely rewired Maxim's motivation. It created a bond of loyalty stronger than any prison bars could ever be.
So after all that incredible success, Maxim was officially released. And this is the pivot point. This is where the personal trust between him and Hilbert creates the single greatest institutional vulnerability in the history of the FBI.
From a technical standpoint, the breach itself was almost, well, elegant. Maxim found a forgotten server still running a protocol from 1976. We're talking about an ancient, unencrypted file transfer protocol. This is a classic vulnerability, a legacy system that's too old to patch, but it's too baked into the infrastructure to just unplug. He didn't have to break down the front door. He found a digital window that someone had left wide open for decades.
And right here, this is the critical failure. Trusting Maxim, Hilbert went completely off book. He gave a non-agent, a convicted hacker, a secret backdoor into the FBI's most sensitive network. He threw out every rule, bypassed every security layer, all because he thought his personal judgment was better than decades of institutional protocol.
Of course, the Bureau eventually found out about Hilbert's rogue operation, and they didn't see a successful partnership. They saw an agent who'd been compromised. So they arrested him, and in doing that, they lit the fuse on Maxim's time bomb.
Remember that 11-page file? Well, this is what was inside it. This wasn't just data. It was leverage on a global scale. We're talking names of informants, ongoing investigations, the true identities of assets, including a sitting world leader. Releasing this file wouldn't just be embarrassing, it would be world-altering.
Maxim's demand was crystal clear.
sent from the very servers he now controlled. This wasn't about money, not at all. It was about loyalty. He had turned the FBI's own secrets into a weapon to save the only person in America who had ever treated him like a human being.
So the FBI was completely boxed in, an impossible position. Prosecute a rogue agent and risk a global catastrophe, or give in to a hacker's demands and set a really dangerous precedent. The world had no idea, but this silent war was playing out in the shadows.
And then, just silence. Years go by, and then all the charges against Hilbert are quietly dropped. The official reason is so telling. National security necessities is just government speak for, we had no other choice. Maxim had won.
I mean, the arc of their story is just astounding. It starts with a simple act of kindness, blows up into a high-stakes standoff that threatens global security, and then it just goes quiet. Until years later, when a phone rings.
In 2012, Hilbert gets a call. It's Maxim. No threats, no demands, just a simple thank you, bringing this whole insane saga full circle, right back to that one moment of human connection that started it all.
And that's really the question we're left with, isn't it? From a pure cybersecurity standpoint, what Hilbert did was an unforgivable breach of protocol, a total disaster. But from a human perspective, was that same trust, that one act of kindness, the only thing that kept Maxim from burning everything to the ground? It's a question that really blurs the line between protocol and people, and it's what makes this one of the most compelling case studies in modern